Hey guys, welcome to Chatterbox Chronicles. I'm Josh and this is Sam. We are both Christians who love to talk about random topics, and today we'll be covering basically everything Star Wars. Today we actually have a guest. His name is Nick. You can say hi if you want.
Hello? Hello.
You can say hi if you want.
If you want.
If I
If you
want.
want to talk, you can. But if not, it's fine.
Exactly.
I mean, that's fair.
So Thexton's prepared, like he usually does. He prepared a bunch of questions,
List of questions.
around 11 questions, for us to answer today. And the first one is, what is our favorite Star Wars movie?
My favorite Star Wars movie is either Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, because Revenge of the Sith is just a great movie overall, and Attack of the Clones spawned Clone Wars 2008, which is my favorite TV show probably ever.
I'm going to counter your prequel with the original trilogy. I'm going to say episode 5. Solely because...
Five?
Yes, solely because the big reveal at the end with, spoiler alert, Darth Vader being Luke's father had me in shock the very first time I watched it, and it stuck with me ever since. And
Okay.
I guarantee you it shocked
Everybody says
everybody
number 5.
else.
Everybody
One-
says number 5. I think number 5 was probably one of the most boring movies.
Okay. One thing I think I'm gonna have to counter your counter, Nick.
Bro's parrying.
You don't. If you actually watch Star Wars in chronological order, that's not a big shock at all.
Correct, but at the time, when
At
it
the
first
time, it was,
released, yeah. And I think that's what it is. And
Wait,
plus it
hold
holds a
on.
lot of nostalgia.
Did you watch in 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3?
That is exactly how I watched it.
I did not realize. I'm sorry for your loss.
Bro watched it wrong.
In my defense, I watched those when I watched
Yeah.
4 through 6 when I was 9, and I watched 1 through 3 when I was 13. So you do the math there. Yeah.
Oh. Wait, does that mean on average you watched one Star Wars movie a year?
2.
Okay.
Bro does not know how to do math.
Welcome to my life. Of course,
That's
I don't know how to do math.
I would say my favorite Star Wars movie has to be Revenge of the Sith. It's just the best. The memes, the intense
Okay.
lightsaber fights, the weight of the entire movie on the entire saga. Because if something went different in that movie, the entire saga would be completely different.
True. But I will agree with you that that was a fantastic movie. Out of all of the mainline Star Wars movies, that has to have the best lightsaber dueling.
Oh, that is the best lightsaber dueling
I
ever in
disagree.
Star Wars. What? No, you cannot.
I
you
majorly disagree.
cannot tell me that the Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight is worse than Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
No, there's a fight that trumps both of those.
If you say something in the Clone Wars, I'm gonna.
If you say something in the sequels, I'm gonna.
No,
Why?
the sequels can go.
I thought bro was gonna
in
say.
a nuke.
I thought bro was gonna say Rey versus Kylo Ren.
Oh my gosh!
No.
Wait, which time?
Okay. Can we all just agree right now that no one likes the sequels here in this group?
Correct.
Wait, they made sequels?
Okay.
Wait.
Right, that's about how I feel.
Wait,
the only
which-
good part
which
of the
sequels
is
are
The
we talking about?
Mandalorian.
Which
The-
sequels are we talking
Okay,
The
about?
ones
we'll
that
get to
come
that
after Return of the Jedi.
Okay, that doesn't help at all. We'll get to that later.
Kind of
No.
does, because people would consider Rogue One a sequel, but that happens before New Hope. So
No, Rogue One's a
That's a
prequel.
spin-off. I think that's more a spin-off and a prequel.
Rogue
it's
One
a,
and Solo are a prequel.
yeah,
it's a
but
it's
people,
a prequel.
but there are people that consider that the sequels because it came after number 3.
But not chronologically.
Okay,
Yes,
anyway,
but
hold on.
most people don't think chronologically.
Going back to the lightsaber fight thing, in my opinion, Ahsoka versus Maul on Mandalore in the last season of the Clone Wars is the absolute epitome of lightsaber fights.
The only thing that
No.
made that fight good was that it was actually choreographed and motion captured.
The
Wait,
mocap.
Sam, you do realize we're talking about movies here?
Yeah, okay. In the movies, then yes, that Anakin versus Obi-Wan is probably
Yes, we're
the best.
we're talking
But
about movies.
overall of
Yes.
Star Wars, that is the best fight in my opinion.
I would still say I haven't watched the Clone Wars, but I would still say Anakin versus Obi-Wan
Dang
is
it.
just the best because of the fact that just the emotion of it, how much weight it has, the song. I mean,
Oh.
I have an emotional attachment to it because me and my brother used to play
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars all the time, and we always used to battle on Mustafar
Yes.
together. So it's just like a huge connection for me.
Please tell me you played the complete saga.
Yes, the complete saga is just the
Yes.
best version.
Complete Saga is the bomb.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's the OG.
Exactly.
Technically not, but yes.
What do you mean technically not? Was there another Lego
There
Star
was
Wars
okay.
game that
So
came
the
before
first
that?
the first two Lego games ever were Lego Star Wars, the first three movies, and then the second three movies. The complete saga is just both of those games combined.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So,
forgot that
It's
they
basically
released
the
separately.
same thing. Okay, so we did favorite movie, favorite character.
Either Obi-Wan Kenobi or Mace on Window.
Mace on Window.
I think it's more Mace out of window than on window, but okay.
I mean, whatever you want. You can spray Mace on a window.
Oh,
Oh, Mace
Okay.
out of oh,
My guy.
I get it now.
my God.
But I think Mace might take the cup for me. Take the
Okay.
cake. Take the cup.
Same thing.
I just like his character better. I think I see if Obi-Wan wasn't liked so much, I would probably like him more. But because
True.
it's
That's
such
fair.
a simple answer that I just had to go with Mace Windu because nobody ever says Mace Windu. When people think of good Star Wars characters, they think Ahsoka, Darth Maul, Anakin, Darth
Okay.
Sidious, Darth Vader, Luke, Han Solo. Nope. Who thinks of
Solo Han.
Mace
Mace Windu.
Mace
Somebody probably.
Windu? I mean, yeah, somebody. Clearly me.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Anyway,
All right, Nick.
I'm gonna say Chewbacca. And here's why.
Ooh, interesting choice.
If you go through and you actually pay attention to the dialogue and stuff, Chewie's got some snarky remarks. He's got some attitude every now and again. And
He's probably the most bully character.
Yeah. And I never took the time to learn, I forget the exact dialect of Kashyyyk that he used. There's like 3 or 4 different dialects. But if you take the time to learn that, let me tell you, there's some people that have translated everything that Chewie said, and it's great. It's fantastic. And I'm glad that they didn't kill him off in the sequels, and I understood why they killed Solo off because, Harrison Ford had Indiana Jones to film. But he's
That's
definitely
not why they did that, but yeah.
That actually is.
Really?
Yeah. He had to go film Indy J5. And
was that the new one?
yeah.
And then it bombed.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's crap.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
and I just remember going around as a kid trying to speak Wookiee.
Wookiees.
That was really good. Jeez.
Yeah, I've mastered it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my favorite characters are basic, but I can give reasons. Either Ahsoka or Obi-Wan.
I knew it.
Ahsoka, because I literally grew up. Probably the first Star Wars content that I ever consumed was the Clone Wars, right? I've been watching it basically my whole life. I think I've watched it 3 times now. I've also watched Rebels. So yeah, and Obi-Wan because he is literally the perfect Jedi, right? So in my opinion, he's just an obvious choice. Also, he's got good memes and one-liners.
True.
I will say Ahsoka is a good choice, but I have to ask: are we talking about snips from the very beginning of Clone Wars, or are we talking like towards the end of Clone Wars?
4. Seasons 3 to I think it's 6.
Okay, and we're completely
Immature one.
excluding Ahsoka from Mandalorian, correct?
Mandalorian, yes. Ahsoka in the Mandalorian looks retarded. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah.
Her Leku should be like down to her ankles.
It's not racist at all because I blame the costume designers for that. So
I agree.
so just for those of you out there who's like, oh, you're saying that because you're racist. No, it's just the costume designer did a horrible job with the character development on that. And I will say Ahsoka has a great character arc. I mean, seeing
I agree.
how much she transformed from the first episode she was in season 1 to how she ended in what, season 6?
7 at this point.
7?
Well, she leaves in 6 and then comes. Actually, no, she leaves in 5, I think, and then comes back in 7.
Okay. Well, just seeing her character transform from the young, careless, whippersnapper to now actually like a careful Jedi who knows what she's doing. And when she came back for Rebels, I was actually kind of stoked for that when the big reveal kind of came with that, because just watching that brought back a ton of nostalgia, and just seeing how she grew and grew more wise, it was awesome. So yeah, that was a good choice.
Wait, have you seen? I forget what it's called. It's basically like a prequel show. It's a bunch of mini episodes about Star Wars stuff. It's on Disney Plus.
Is that
No,
that
I
one with the
haven't.
little children?
Hold on, I'll be right back. I've got a list. This is really important. Promise.
So I know Josh hasn't watched the Clone Wars, but has Thexan watched the original 2D?
Okay, so it's called. I did. It was meh. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, sorry. So on Disney Plus, there's a show called Tales of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that. Yes, I have
The
watched
first
that.
2 episodes have to deal with Dooku before he's a. Yeah. No. So one of the episodes is about Ahsoka, and there's a plot thread in it where basically Anakin had her stand in a circle, and all the clones would shoot at her with stun on.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and so it's just slowly evolving that, and then you go to season 7, where she's on the table during Order 66. You can see the movements and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool details that I like.
Spoilers, by the way.
Anyway, well, it's been out for a year at this point.
I still haven't seen it.
If you wanted to watch it, you probably would have by now.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair. Anyway, okay, on to question 3.
Okay.
Which Jedi class would you be?
Would you like me to explain the classes?
If you could, please, because you didn't give me any insight on that when I asked.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, there's 3 Jedi classes. There's Consular, there's Guardian, and there's Sentinel. Consular are the in the EU. Consulars would only ever use green lightsabers, and they're more connected to the Force. They're stronger in the Force, and they deal with more peaceful diplomatic missions.
Okay.
In lore, Guardians would only ever use blue lightsabers, and they would be who's active in the Clone Wars. So they're more combat ready and maybe a little less Force experience, I guess. And Sentinels are kind of like the FBI for the Jedi.
Yeah, yellow lightsabers.
As far as I know, yeah, they only use yellow lightsabers, and they do more like spy missions and stuff like that.
Weren't they the yellow folding ones too? The double-bladed folding ones?
No, those are the Guardians that protect the temple.
Okay.
I'd be the first one.
Not to be confused with the class. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's your choice?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I'd probably be Guardian just because it matches my personality.
That's fair.
Nick?
I would have to go with Guardians as well. Just going off of the little bit that you told me right there, I feel like that would be more in line with me personally, kind of like you said.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so based on that, what lightsaber style?
I don't. Okay, so
was that like part of the class, or is that part of the question?
No. Okay, so I'm gonna have to say this is unrelated because technically, if we were to do this like right back and forth, we would all be using single lightsabers.
Yes.
No, but so basically, my question is, right, for the styles, would you use like a double bladed? Would you use the double that can detach like Ventress? Would you use the
Only appeared once.
Okay, it's still a thing. Would you use like a light whip? Would you use the kind of
Like an
blaster
Inquisitor style, or
the kind of blaster that blaster lightsaber that Ezra has with a gun incorporated, or what is it? Or would you use something like Warb Null or like I forget who the other guy is, but basically the final style that I can think of is it's a normal sized lightsaber, but it's double bladed.
I would probably have to say I would go with like what Cal Kestis has in the video games. Where he has a
So
double
he's got
bladed
the weird
lightsaber
detached
and he can
double-bladed thing.
detach it and use two, or you can just use one. I mean, why would you not go with that?
Yeah, that's actually my choice as well.
yeah.
I thought about just Warp Null. Basically, how his lightsaber works is it's kind of like a staff, and a lightsaber can come out of both ends, but only one end at a time.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm actually going to go a little bit older than you guys. Actually, a lot older than you guys. I'm going to go with the Proto Saber.
Seriously? Why the
Yes.
Proto Saber?
Because
It's got just so many downsides.
it was developed and made on Mustafar,
Okay.
and just the design and style of it, it's appealing for me personally. And for a very close second, I would go with just a classic Maul double bladed.
Oh,
That's fair.
nice. Okay. So going off of that, I actually want to skip a bunch of questions and go into what lightsaber crystal would you use? Obviously, if your choice for the previous question was double bladed, you can pick two because double bladeds have two.
Wait, so what lightsaber crystal, or what color crystal?
What kind of crystal? Because
some crystals have certain colors, others, like in canon, the color depends on how you imprint the lightsaber, so it can really be any. But I'll give you an example. For instance, one of the crystals I'm choosing is called a Ghost Fire crystal. It can only ever be clear and make no noise. But if I wanted to go something like I forget what they're called in canon. Remember what they're called, Nick?
What are you talking about?
The regular crystals that are in canon that every Jedi uses.
Kyber?
Yeah,
Kyber
I guess
crystals?
that's what they're called.
Yeah.
If you just wanted to use a Kyber crystal, like just a normal basic one, you could have it be any color you want.
If I just used I would probably just go with that and then just be like
the basic.
Yeah, I would probably go with that. Use Form 7 and have both my lightsabers be like purple.
Hey, we're saving that for later. Chill out.
Yeah, we're saving that for later.
I'm just saying.
Also, technically, if you're doing dual, it would be Jar Kai, but don't worry about that.
I would actually go with a Kunda Stone from Cadrill from the Great Sith War era.
Would you like to expand upon that? What it does?
Let me pull up the lore tab. I have all these lore tabs. Okay, so
wait, hold on. Yeah, no, keep going.
So basically, the Kunda Stone had purposes not only for the lightsaber but also for healing factors and communications. So if I was ever in a pickle, I could pull it out, use it, get some good heals, and reach out to my fellow comrades if needed. Just plug it into like a relay or something.
That's
Bro is the medic.
Bro is the medic.
And
okay, so what?
It also another piece of the lore that I totally read over. It creates a wider border beam around the lightsaber that allows it to increase blaster deflection instead of just absorbing it like you see every now and again with Kyber. It will it has a higher percentage to deflect any blaster. So yeah.
That's okay. So for mine, it depends. If I'm right, so in this scenario, if I'm a Jedi, I'm going to use the Ghost Fire, which is a crystal that makes a lightsaber blade completely clear and completely silent. Not even joking.
I know.
It's just super broken. And the other one, if I'm a Jedi, I'm using a Pawntite crystal, which basically it sort of expounds your light side of the Force in you, right? So it calms you during battle, and it's actually cold instead of hot, which is cool, and it can disrupt the focus that the Sith have when you activate it with the Force.
Interesting choice. That's a good bit of lore there.
Yeah.
For if I was a Sith, I forget what it's called specifically. It's something exile, but the other crystal that I would have, it's basically acidic and venomous. So when you hit somebody with it, it will eat their skin away till they die.
I mean, if you're in a lightsaber duel, you're pretty much aiming to kill. So like, what would be the real
only one hit
application? I mean, if you get
you only
a good
hit them once and then you're good.
Yeah, I know, but with a lightsaber, that's pretty much what your main goal is. Just hit them once and you're gone. And if you're a good enough duelist, and a master of your form, of course you're gonna win your duel.
Okay.
So like that would have a very
you
niche.
prefer my other choice?
Which one?
I forget what the crystal is called again because I didn't write any of these down. But basically, it's created on Mustafar. Darth Vader used it once, and it sort of just leaks lava. It's like also really hot.
Oh, that's
sick.
That is probably
that would be gnarly.
better than the acidic crystal, but
yeah,
I think the problem with that would be actually holding it. Right?
Yeah,
because lava is so hot, it would just burn your skin.
Self-inflicted wounds, yeah, but like if you could just kind of fling lava at your opponents, that would definitely be a Sith move right there.
Well, there's a reason only Darth Vader used it. He's got the heat-resistant gloves. Or whatever.
True.
Okay.
Okay, I actually have a impromptu question.
All right.
If you had to choose your favorite lightsaber from Star Wars universe, what is your favorite lightsaber anybody has used?
I was gonna say Mace Windu because I like his purple blade, but
disregarding the Kyber crystal.
Yeah. Okay, then probably Mace Windu.
Okay.
Or no, sorry, the Darksaber.
There you go.
Yeah,
I personally would have to say Kylo Ren.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
True. Are you talking just the cross guard, or
no, the entire blade?
Okay, because the reason the blade's like that is because it's a stressed kyber crystal. It's a broken kyber crystal.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
So you said disregarding the crystal.
I mean, I still like the look of the blade.
Yeah, true. I would actually have to go with Ezra Bridger's lightsaber because that has a lot of good implications.
First season or second season?
I would say first season.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it has a lot of good implications. I mean, if you watched the final fight with Inquisitor when Kanan was dual wielding the lightsabers, I mean, he was going to town on the Grand Inquisitor, and it was fantastic.
He also used the forbidden lightsaber form, though. So
true.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, he did. He was turning his blade on and off during the fight.
That's awesome.
But
it really was.
He was turning his blade on and off because
he was using a blaster.
That lightsaber was essentially just designed around that form. So
yeah, Ezra's lightsaber is definitely a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so If you were a Jedi, also if you were a Sith, who would you want to train you?
If I was a Jedi, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Good
choice. That's
Very
actually a
good
great choice.
That's a fantastic choice.
Okay. For me, if I was a Jedi, I'd definitely have to choose either Obi-Wan or pre-Sith Dooku, just for the lightsaber skills.
True.
That's fair.
His use of Form 2 was impeccable.
Well, I would consider him the best duelist ever to exist.
True. For me, if I was going Jedi, it's kind of a tie between Yoda or Windu, because both are
I didn't even
wise.
think about Windu.
They're both wise, and they've both kind of been through the ringer. But at the end of the day, I'm probably just going to choose Master Yoda because he is older, ergo more wise than Master Windu.
One benefit of being Windu's Padawan, you get to learn Vapad.
True,
There you
which
go.
is, I believe, one of the most unique lightsaber forms. I think he
It's
and
broken.
like 2 other people are the only people that have used it. Primarily Sith use
Um,
it because you channel your inner
So,
hatred into it.
as far as I know, Windu and his Padawan used it, and then Windu also basically co-created the form with someone else. And that person used it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I'm pretty sure most Siths don't use it because, as far as my understanding is, Vapad is basically where you take the dark side energy, or like you take the force energy of the person you're fighting and use it to bolster yourself.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
Yeah. And if
Oh.
I was going Sith, I'm gonna have to go with Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Oh, interesting.
Ironic.
Very.
Okay. All right. Okay, so moving on. You said 5. Let's just cover number 6 first. It could be any species, including human, in the Star Wars galaxy. What would you choose?
Gungan.
I've got a list here if you need me to.
100% Gungan.
If you need me to tell you a bunch, I've got.
What is
a list
okay?
here.
I would be Yoda's race because
Yoda's
imagine
race does not have an official name.
okay because imagine me being like Yoda's race, having
Yoda's race is broken.
what's his name? Cal Kestis type lightsaber and using Form 7.
That would be so broken.
Like,
Oh
just
my gosh.
imagine.
Bro
You
put
would
on the cheat
destroy
codes.
everything.
Bro put on the cheat codes for that.
Okay, my choice is either Darth Mirian, which is basically Zabrak, except you're either red or orange or yellow,
Yeah.
or Togruta, so that way I can have venomous teeth.
Oh,
What are you gonna bite your way out of a lightsaber duel? Like what? Bro's just gonna bite the blade and be
As
like,
you're
"I
dueling with your
gotcha."
opponent, you just bite them in their
But-
ear.
I forget. Is that just whenever you
Togruta-
bite something, it goes, or is it self-controlled?
I think they have fangs and can just do it whenever they want, although it might be all
It
the
might-
time.
Because, like, what if you're eating like a good steak and you just bite
It
down on
probably
it,
is.
then you poison yourself?
Well, it's your venom. You wouldn't be able to kill yourself with it.
Yeah, you'd be immune to your own venom.
That's not. Look at spiders. I know this is a Star Wars universe, but look at spiders. A spider can kill itself
Yeah.
with his own venom.
Technically, that's true. But
That's a spider, though.
I imagine they're probably immune to them.
Well, think about it. If
Probably.
they could kill themselves with their own venom, they wouldn't have even evolved anyway.
True.
That's true.
They would have a very high rate of
Okay.
accidental suicide.
Exactly.
Okay.
Number
on.
5. What job would you want? What do you mean by that?
Yes, please elaborate.
Would you like to be a Jedi, a Sith, a bounty hunter, a smuggler, a security force, a politician?
A Jedi,
Factory
obviously.
worker. Really? That's your choice?
Hear me out, though.
Jedi
Bounty
have
hunt-
some
bounty
dangerous
hunter-
jobs.
Bounty hunter with a lightsaber.
That's just okay.
I'm gonna go off of kind of what Josh said here. I'm gonna go Jedi bounty hunter, not hunting Jedis, but I am a Jedi, but I do bounty hunting.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to go with Sith.
Of course,
That suits you.
says
just
the guy who's got Darth Jar Jar as his.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that's the biggest question. Was he a Sith? And I think we can all collectively agree he was.
Yes.
He was. He's not stupid. He was just playing his own cards.
Exactly.
Okay. Well. Okay. Moving on.
What's the next one? If they remade the sequel trilogy to be good, would you prefer that or the EU sequel 8 or the EU sequel? What? Okay. So what do you mean by EU sequel?
Extended
Okay,
universe. So
basically,
books, that kind of stuff.
in the extended universe, post Return of the Jedi, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of stuff happens. I'll give you some highlights just as an example. Palpatine has a bunch of clones. Leia becomes an actual Jedi.
Yeah, I
Luke
know
gets
that.
married to a chick called Mara Jade, who uses a purple lightsaber.
Yep.
He
Mara
moves a
Jade.
black hole. He walks on lava. There's a guy that rides a dragon that has a lightsaber that's got 3 parts.
I'll
and
stop
one of
you
them
there.
is in between the two.
I'll stop you there. They
Okay.
I prefer both. They should remake the sequel trilogy into that.
Oh yeah,
Touche.
also forgot to mention, aliens from a completely different universe invade. But
Oh dang! Isn't that what George Lucas wanted anyway? At the beginning, Leia to become the Jedi, but then they were like, actually,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna go with Rey here.
Yeah, it was stupid. Well, in his defense, Carrie Fisher did die during the filming
that
of
was,
episode 8. So, or no,
Piece
before
of
the
Carrie
filming
Fisher.
of episode 8.
Couldn't they just get a younger actress?
I think they used her daughter and just did when they did the flashback scenes, and then just killed her off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because she died like pre-filming for episode 8, so they already had her in episode 7, so they couldn't like use a different actor. Sure, they could have superimposed, but like it wouldn't look nearly as good. So they just used old reels and stuff and old tapes from her.
Yeah.
I gotta say, just as a side note, her scene in 8 with the weird floating Mary Poppins thing was dumb.
Yeah, that was a load of malarkey.
Okay. So
I don't
now,
remember that because I don't remember The Last Jedi.
Touche.
Basically, a ship explodes, she's in space, and uses the Force to move herself back into the ship. It's stupid.
Oh, right, that scene. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. The Last Jedi, the only good scene is where she drives her ship straight through that entire fleet.
No.
Yes, because that
The
was
only good
probably
scene in that was Kylo Ren versus Luke.
Can anybody
Okay,
tell
that's
me
true.
what that was called?
but
It's called Breaking the Hyperspace Wall.
Nuh-uh.
uh
There's an in lore.
The
actual
Holdo
name for it.
maneuver.
There we
Mhm.
go. The Holdo maneuver. Come on, Pippin said it.
Let's move on. We don't need to. We don't.
well,
need to talk
okay,
about
maybe
the
it wasn't
sequels.
practical or whatever, but it was visually stunning.
Yeah,
True, it was. It was
it
amazing.
was visuals over lore.
And
whatever.
just to slide my answer to the question, I'm gonna go with the extended universe. I'm gonna stick with the Thrawn trilogy, as you kind of mentioned there, because that's how you properly do a sequel. That's how you properly rebuild a franchise.
True.
I'm gonna have to go with the EU as well. I just like it when Luke moved a black hole,
You just really
Also,
like that.
defeated Abeloth. He walked on lava. He talked with not Plagueis. Bane, and he had a kid that could time travel. So
Bro is Himothy.
basically. Okay, so now question 9. This kind of needs some preface because I was thinking about this after I read the question. I was like, okay, which one am I talking about? So I would say you could choose if you want a ship as like your home base, so like the Millennium Falcon or whatever. You can choose that, or if you want your base, just like whatever, to be on a planet, you can choose like a single craft fighter, like the Naboo starfighters, just to like travel to places, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so to answer the ship question, I don't really know many ships, and I'm kind of brain dead when it comes to that. So if I had to choose any ship, I would probably choose Darth Vader's.
Ah, yes. The Executioner, I believe, was the name of that. I could be totally
forget
wrong.
what it's called. But yeah, that would probably be my favorite. Maybe
Nice.
maybe
Executor.
the Executor. Okay, I mean you were
Oh
close.
wait, the big one or the personal thing from New Hope?
The one that looks kind of like a TIE fighter, but it's like pointy.
Yeah, that's TIE Infiltrator, I think.
Yeah.
Are we sure he's not just talking about like the shuttle with the 3
I
points?
don't think so.
I mean, okay, either
No,
that one or the other one, whatever works.
Okay. So I'll answer here. If I'm using a ship as a home base, it's gonna have to be the Ghost because the Ghost is great. But if it's like my personal like snub craft that I'm just using to go places, I'm gonna have to go with the Z95 Headhunter.
Nice. If I'm choosing a ship as a home base, I'm going to go with a modified J-Type 327 Nubian.
What are these names? I don't understand.
It's a Nubian.
Yes. And if I'm going for just a personal shuttle to and fro, I don't know if it's actually in lore, but there have been modified T14s. And that would just be amazing to just kind of zip from planet to planet in a T14 Skyhopper.
Okay. I think Josh would appreciate it greatly if you could send him pictures of these for him to edit. So that way he doesn't have to look these up.
I can do that.
That's fair. Actually, hold on. What is that really small ship that Obi-Wan and Anakin took when Obi-Wan was like, I hate it when he does that?
You mean the speeder?
Yes.
That wasn't even a ship. That's a speeder.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
find
a moped.
that funny.
That's like a moped.
I don't know why, but it's one of my
really
favorite
is.
ships. It's not even a ship,
sorry.
but
Got the name wrong. It's not a T14, it's a T16 Skyhopper. I was totally off on that.
Wait, is that the thing that Luke drives?
Yep.
That he flews off screen?
Womp rats are no bigger than 2 meters, and he used to blast them with his T16 back home.
You know what? Okay.
okay.
Well-
So next question. What is your droid type of choice? And before any of you answer,
Like assassin.
mine is droid type or type of droid?
That's the same thing. You could have like a personal droid companion. What would you want it to be?
A gonk droid.
You absolute mongoloid. You stole that from me.
Is that a Star Wars word right there?
I-
You mongoloid.
I had gonk droids, but for my second pick, I put destroyers.
Oh,
Could you imagine just rolling into battle with your own
That would
personal
be-
destroyer?
amazing.
That would be fantastic. And
Oh.
for some of you nerds out there, it's Droideka.
The droidicas.
Where are those Droidekas?
Speaking of droidicas, I love in the first movie when they use
4-speed once and never use it again.
Yep. Like, why didn't Obi-Wan use 4-speed when in the
Disney-
final
So
battle?
so many things could have been fixed if they just used 4-speed again.
I know.
Qui-Gon
dude,
wouldn't have died.
episode 3, the final fight, Obi-Wan would have had the high ground quicker.
I mean, that's debatable. He probably would have just ran straight in the lava.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure with force speed you can also force jump, and if you build enough momentum,
I mean, yeah, I
Try
guess
to
that's true.
Convince me that Obi-Wan can fly.
Wouldn't
pretty much.
you could
Maybe
basically
not
fly with the Force, dude? Wait, just
Maybe
think
not
about
fly,
this.
but falling with style.
Think about this. Why can't people fly with the Force? You could just do Magneto style. Bring something on your feet and then just start.
For the most, so you're Magneto basically.
Basically,
I think for the most part you can, but I don't think anyone other than Yoda, Anakin, and a few others are strong enough to actually do that. And at that point, it has no effect because whatever you're trying to go, like wherever you're trying to go, for the most part, you could probably just bring it to you.
Yeah, let me bring an entire planet to.
Okay. Honestly, sounds like something Luke would have done in EU. Just move a planet.
Well, yeah, he moved a black hole, so like.
Okay,
True.
that's true.
So let's move on to question 11, the final question. What is your lightsaber form of choice?
Would you like me to read the things for each form? I have
I've
a
got that
definition
because I
of
have
each
that pulled
form.
up.
I-
So do I.
I don't think you need to read each form. I'd say just say who uses each form, and then in the comments I'll put, if you guys really want to know what each form does, I'll put that in the comments for you guys.
Don't forget to pin it.
Thank you.
Put it in the pinned comment.
I would say you could just include a link to the Star Wars that has.
I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
could do that too.
I mean, I'm just on
Okay, so
Screen Rant's website for it.
yeah. Before I say any of these, I would like to preface: most of these people don't use a singular form, like Obi-Wan, or not Obi-Wan, but what kind of, but Windu and Yoda, at least those two have mastered every single form, along with Sidious.
True.
So these aren't exact, but these are who I found that uses the form the most. So for Form 1, its special user is Kit Fisto. That's the only one I could find. Not joking. Form
Literally
2
everybody in episode 2 on
yeah, but
what in the big circle.
none of them are notable.
That's not
For the
true.
most-
I see Plo
I mean,
Koon, Kit
shocked.
Fisto.
Okay, you know what?
I see the Mon Calamari dude that I can never remember his name. Shock T's there too. Mace Windu's there. Obi's there. Anakin's there.
Except those people use other forms more prominently.
Touche.
Okay, so for Form 2, we have Dooku, Qui-Gon, Shaak-Ti, and Grievous. Form 3 is Obi-Wan, Ki-Adi-Mundi, who is the guy with the long bald head, and Coleman Trevor, who is the guy that got killed in Attack of the Clones by Jango.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the worst death in all of Star Wars.
Right? Especially because he was a council member.
I know. And his head
Anyway.
is such a
Died in
big target, too.
Django.
Right? Okay, so for Form 4, Yoda, Ayla Secura, and Even Peel, he's in the Clone Wars a bit, but he's the guy, he kind of sits, he's small like Yoda, he's white, he's got long ears, and he's got a ponytail on the very tippy top of his head.
And he's got the eye thing going on.
Oh yeah, he's on the council, and you see him in one scene in the movie, but
I'm pretty sure he's just an albino of Yoda species. I'm convinced.
he definitely isn't, because he's not as strong, and he sounds like he smokes. Moving on.
Touche.
So Form 5 is split into two variations. They're called Demso and Shien. For Demso, Anakin is the only one that I could find that you guys would know that uses Demso. For Shien, Ahsoka, Plo Koon, Adi Gallia, and Luminara. Oh, and Quinlan Voss. They're just Jedi.
Wait, you said Form 6?
No, that's Form 5.
Oh, okay.
Form 6 is Starkiller and Revan and Exar Kun. Who, Exar Kun is the guy I was talking about earlier that had a lightsaber, the double-bladed lightsaber that was only the size of a normal one.
You missed one kind of big user of Form 6.
And who was that?
Darth Maul. Hughes Newman.
Okay, well, you know what?
In episode 1, he used Neiman.
Okay, so for Form 7, technically Form 7 is split between Vapod and Juyo. So the two main users for Vapod was Windu and Depa Billaba, who Depa Billaba was Windu's Padawan. For Juyo, we got Bane, Galen Merrick, Maul, Ram Koda. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I would use Form 7.
You forgot to mention that Windu developed Vapod.
No, he did.
Well, there you just did. So now we don't have to.
No, he already mentioned it.
Yeah, I talked
Before
about
we
it already.
recorded, I think.
No,
No.
it was after,
No?
I think.
Okay, well then I'm dumb.
Okay. Okay, Nick, what form would you use?
I would go with Form 2 Makashi if I'm going
What?
single bladed. It
Okay,
is the
that's
most
fair. That's fair.
elegant, and it is specifically designed on keeping and on getting and maintaining the upper hand in any lightsaber duel. And plus, I mean, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Look at Dooku. Beautiful man.
Okay, that's only because Christopher Lee fenced, but whatever.
Touche.
Until your hands get cut off.
Yeah.
And then your head gets do it. Tid.
Right.
Do it.
Oh yeah. Josh, I was gonna say, what is your answer? But if you need me to read any of the specifics, just let me know.
I already said Form 7.
Oh, you did. That's right. Okay, sorry. In that case, I'm gonna have to use. I think it just works. Form 5 Demso.
Okay.
Just like the crazy offensiveness.
That
Yeah.
makes sense, yeah.
Well,
I mean that kind of fits you, to be honest.
Well, and if you go for a dual bladed, you can totally go for the Ahsoka Tano reverse grip.
Technically, that would be Jarkai, which is literally just dual bladed user, but whatever.
But to be
But
honest,
she used Jen So
Yeah.
when she reversed it. She used Jarakai when she just had a normal grip, but she switched over to Form 5 when she would reverse her lightsaber. When she did one, I think it's very interesting. When she only had one in reverse, she would actually split between the two. If you go back and look at like earlier Clone Wars, when she would only have one in the unconventional reverse grip, she actually used both forms. It's very interesting.
Okay.
okay, so now we're gonna move on to the daily question, and that is,
Oh, sorry. The question of the day provided by the Comics Explained Discord. If you could take up any hero's mantle, who would you choose?
okay. What do you mean by that?
If you could take up any hero's mantle, if you could be Batman, you could be Cyclops, if you could be Beast.
Oh, so
Could be
basically
Captain America.
if I could be any hero, who would I choose?
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Very
Okay.
good question.
Well,
very tough question too.
I'll do you one better. Who is Gamora? No. I would.
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
I'm gonna have to go with Gambit or not Sound. All I can think is Soundwave.
We don't talk about Gambit.
It's Cyclops' brother. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yes, I know. What's his name?
The blonde guy.
Yes. He was in X-Men First Class.
Yeah, I can't remember that guy. I want to say Echo, but I don't think it was Echo.
No, it definitely wasn't Echo. Oh, I forget his name.
Okay, well, my answer is Gambit.
That's fair.
Let me know.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Well, he's my favorite hero.
We don't talk about Gambit because it's kind of broken at the moment. So
Okay.
hashtag Destiny 2 plug.
Okay, you know what? Make your choice, sir.
I'm gonna go with Spooderman, but not the new ones, and not even the Andrew Garfield one. I'm gonna go with the original Tobey Maguire Spooderman.
Nice.
Bro's got to go
Well,
through
maybe
some
not.
stuff.
I have got to go through some stuff.
Right. Okay. Yash.
Dang, that's a good question. Okay, so if I had,
You have to.
okay, can I say ones for
Okay.
multiple universes?
Yeah, you can say one for DC and Marvel.
Okay, so if I had to be, I'm gonna relate it back to Star Wars here. If I had to be anybody in the Star Wars universe, it would be Obi-Wan.
He's
If I had
on
to
the
be
hero.
anybody in the DC universe, probably be it would probably be Blue Beetle or the Flash. And if I had to be anybody in the Marvel universe, in the comics, it would be Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And in the MCU, it would be probably Doctor Strange.
Okay, that's fair. Even though he's got a third eye at the moment, but anyway.
That's fine. We don't need to worry about it.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed Nick's company here in the podcast today. He was very talkative, and he was very informed on Star Wars, which, you know, was very... I was very thankful for that, because if it was just Sam and I think Sam would be the one doing all the talking, because I know I know some of Star Wars, not a lot. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions or any responses in the comments, you can also put your responses to any questions we asked in here in the comments. And if you think we should make any improvements, just let us know. And yeah, I think that's it. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to download on Spotify.
And don't forget to follow.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget to follow. There you go.
Don't forget to sub to me as well. Hashtag shameless self promo.
Okay.
Okay, you know what?
All right.
You probably don't, whatever.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Well, peace out.
Bless your faces and deuces.